The Water Diary, brought to you by the Department of Water and Sanitation.
Sanibonani Dumelang, welcome to the Water Diary, right here on SABC1 Mzansi for sure. It is brought to you by the Department of Water and Sanitation and SABC Education. Nake Mpwa Putini and welcome to the show. Feel free to interact with us on social media. Our handles are on the screen. Send us your questions, your comments. We'd love to hear from you.
We kick off today's show by speaking to Mr. Vugani Mtia, who is Deputy Director for School Intervention at the Department of Water and Sanitation.
Mr. Mpia, welcome to the Water Diary and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, most welcome.
As the Department of Water and Sanitation, please tell us about the different career opportunities you have in the sector.
The Department of Water and Sanitation has got a huge gap when it comes to careers. As a result, we have a in-school program which is intended to attract young people. We believe that as a department, if you don't entice with the intention of incubation the young people who are at school, we may end up not getting the necessary people being attracted to the department. It is for this reason that the department decided to have a school-based education program called 2020 Vision. It is then 2020 Vision for Water and Sanitation Education Program.
What is it that the program seeks to achieve?
2020 Vision for Water and Sanitation Education Program has got different projects. One of those projects will be Baswelimates. Baswelimates attracts learners that are at a foundation phase and an intermediate phase. They are given project, which is Baswelimates, which is projected in art form. You have learners that will create posters, they will dance, they will sing, and they will come up with a way of how best do we save water in our country. This project has gone for almost 15 years now. Second to that, we have Aqua Enduro project. It attracts learners that are at an FET phase. It is intended to get learners who specialize in maths and science. We would want them to actually further their studies in the sector by being engineers. In the end, they win themselves bursaries. Last year alone, for this project, we had 21 bursaries that were actually awarded to these learners.
Let's now hear from some prospective students who are in line to win a bursary from the Department of Water and Sanitation.
My name is Lolo Tipe and I'm from Jane First Comprehensive School. I was born and bred at Ramphahlele. So I want to study environmental scientist because I realized that there's a gap in that field because I was born and bred at Ramphahlele, and then even today we have lack of water, so that kind of serves as motivation for me to come and fill that gap. Okay, so basically the bursary, it gives us financial assistance, and obviously it will take the burden off my parents so that it will also help me because it will serve as motivation for me not to disappoint the department of which I want. That's a promise for me not to disappoint, and also serve as motivation for me to continue with my career choice.
My name is Ubaidullah. My surname is Ahmed. I come from Marlborough, and my school is Marlborough Garden Secondary School. My plans, I want to do civil engineering because I have a passion for it. Like from small, I used to play with sand and build houses, and so since then I have a passion for building things. So that's why I want to go into civil engineering. The bursary, it will help me because then I won't have to work like part-time for my tertiary tuition fees, my tertiary fees. And it's less of a burden on my parents because I also wanted almost like a feeling of independence. So having the bursary will help me in my studies also.
My name is Kangalani. My surname is Mgoqi. I'm from Western Cape, Stellenbosch, Kayamandi High School. My future plans is to study for a doctorate, or like the main thing is to be a professor. Nah, but in this water field thing, because I'm so interested since I've been in the lab told you, I'm so interested.
We also have a project which is called the South African Youth Water Prize. This one is intended for, 1, to create awareness, and 2, for inventions. Here learners are given an opportunity to identify a water-related challenge within their communities. They then go out and research how best is to deal with that problem. Now, when they have actually come up with a solution to the problem, they compete with other learners from other schools. Winners at the level of national are then taken to compete internationally at Stockholm in Junior Water Prize. Those who are lucky enough to win themselves a prize at national level also get themselves a bursar. We believe that this is not only exposure to learners, but it affords them the time and also opportunity for them to further their studies again in the sector. Lastly, the project that we have will be the public speaking project. Here they are given an opportunity to speak out there about all the water-related challenges. You know that the country is at the moment faced with a huge challenge of drought. These learners do not only compete to win themselves prizes, but they create the necessary awareness in terms of how best to save again the little water that we have as a country. If they win, again, they get themselves bursaries, and all these bursaries, be it public speaking, Aqua Enduro bursary and South African Youth Water Prize, they amount to 75, which is a number of bursaries that we are awarding every year.
What is your message to young South Africans who would like to pursue a career in the water sector?
1, we need to send a message very clear. Water is a very scarce commodity. And the more we actually spend much energy in saving our water, the best. So it is important that in the process we recruit the necessary skill that is going to help us harness in terms of making it a point that the people out there are actually getting the water. Remember also, water is not only for consumption, it is also for business. So without actually sensitizing and creating the awareness, it will be very difficult for us to actually spend the water or use the water that we have effectively.
Mr. Mvia, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciated that. Welcome back to the Water Diary, right on SABC1, Mzansi for sure. The Water Research Commission has great information on careers that one can pursue in the water sector. Let's speak to Sisihlengiwe Cele. Sisihlengiwe, welcome to the show and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Please tell us about career opportunities within the water sector.
The water industry is very interesting for whoever wants to design their career path. We've got interesting careers within the wastewater field. We've got interesting careers within sanitation, agriculture, mining, hydrology. The list is endless.
Please tell us about this book, Water at Work, a Career Guide. I know it was published by the Water Research Commission.
The Water at Work Career Guide is such an interesting handbook for whoever wants to craft their career path. It actually cuts across many areas within the water space. It guides whoever is interested in anything. Let me make an example of the plumber. If you want to become a plumber, we have actually listed all the qualifications, all that you need to have, and where you can end up if you follow that path.
Sisihlengi, this book sounds like a must-have. How can our viewers get access to it?
The book is freely downloadable from our website. You just log in and create your password and then you have it. And it is also available if you do a request. For instance, you have an outreach that you are planning. We actually give you whatever number that you want to have for that outreach.
Please tell us about your school's outreach program. What is the Water Research Commission doing for schools?
We have an interesting program where we work with a lot of people. We actually disseminate our material to schools. We make sure that we do career expos with whoever invites us. We also plan our own career expos, and we also disseminate our material to the school educators. We actually help the school educators to do the lesson plans using our material, which is the lesson plans activity book for the educators. We actually assist them to create educational material for their classes.
Sislingiwe, it sounds like you have a lot of educational material for schools. Do you have any educational materials for households?
Yes, we have actually produced a very interesting guide for households. It guides every household when they have problems that are related to water. For instance, if you have a leaking toilet, so we actually take households through the process of how to fix a toilet, or maybe what to check or what to look out for whenever there is a problem in your household. Your taps, for instance, if there is a problem, we actually guide you on how to go about fixing whatever is broken in your household.
Sislingiwe, okokugcina, how can South Africans work with the Water Research Commission?
The Water Research Commission is actually open to work with anybody that is interested in any water issue. We invite whoever is interested in working with us to visit our website and check what is relevant to them and make contact. And we also are open to support any event that is water related and share the issues that we are actually passionate about.
Sislingiwe, thank you so much for your time. Siyabonga ma.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to pursue a career in the water sector, here are the details on the screen.
Don't forget that March is Water Month. Here is a message from Mr. Lennox Mabaso.
Well, our message is that water is not an infinite resource. We are a water scarce country. It is very important that South Africans begin to understand that, because when we grew up, we always saw our dams being full, and we actually never understood the science behind the issue of water. But now the reality has hit home. I think the drought that we have seen, KwaZulu-Natal was the first province to be affected by drought. And I think its devastating impact is still being felt even today in terms of food security, in terms of livestock. People lost their livestock, and you know that for many rural people, livestock is actually their unexploited gold mine. A lot has happened. Now we have to make sure that in a manner in which we treat water, we use water sparingly, and then we understand that this precious source of life has got no substitute. So if we are wasting it, we are actually threatening our own livelihood. So that's a very important message, and this is what is going to be ventilated at this conference, whereby we are going to be exploring various initiatives in terms of what other countries across the globe and in Africa have done.
Be part of the World Water Day celebrations, hosted by United Nations Water and the Government of South Africa, where the 2017 edition of the UN World Water Development Report will be launched 22 to 24 March 2017 at the Inkosi Albert Luthuli International Conference Center. Register online.
Welcome back to the Water Diary, right on SABC1, Mzansi for sure. It is brought to you by the Department of Water and Sanitation and SABC Education. Now, when teaching children about water, you need to be very entertaining. Let's check out the Thirsty 3.
My name is Lwazi, and this is my drone web. Follow me! We work for the Water Research Commission, who have been researching and protecting South Africa's water for more than 40 years. Unfortunately, some people still think South Africa's water resources are endless and aren't concerned that it's getting increasingly polluted. But you can make a real difference by helping us with our research. Just like the Thirsty 3. All you need is a net, an empty ice cream tub, and a copy of the Mini-SAS instruction sheet to investigate which creatures live in your river. The bigger variety of pollution-sensitive invertebrates you find, the healthier the river. To give the WRC and other young researchers access to your valuable information, you should upload your results to the Mini-SAS website. And if you want to know more about Mini-SAS or the WRC, come and dive into the new Thirsty 3 comic. Are you ready? Let's go!
The Department of Water and Sanitation has a great water competition for learners. Phumza Ntsaloba tells us more about the Youth in Water competition.
Sis Phumza siyagamukela, and thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us about the South African Youth Water Prize competition.
South African Youth Water Prize competition, it is the competition that is being coordinated by the department, that is Water and Sanitation. We coordinate the competition together with the Stockholm, whereby the learners that are being selected from South Africa will go and represent South Africa in Stockholm Junior Water Prize. This competition, it's annually, and it's always targeting grade 9 to 11 learners. So the learners, what they come up with in this project, they always identify water-related problems in their schools and in the community, and they come up with a solution to solve the problem that they have identified in their schools and the community.
What are the learners judged on?
The learners are judged on the projects that they have identified. As I've said at the beginning, that they identify water-related problems from their community and also in their schools. And the competition itself got 2 categories. There is an awareness category and also the invention category. In awareness category, the learners are expected to do an awareness on water-related issues in their community. And then the invention category, the learner can develop a model whereby it can be able to assist us to solve the problem that the learner has identified in their community or in their schools.
What opportunities does this competition create for entrants?
It's a lot. You know, when the learners are in this project, there are so many learners that have entered in the project who are the leaders in the world now as we speak. So one of them, we groom them, we mentor them, we coach them, we identify their gifts. But one of the things that we are doing as the department is to look for the learners who are unable to go to school. We give them bursaries. And the bursaries that we are giving to these learners, it's only targeting the careers for the water career sector, not for any other sectors. So which means we are looking at civil engineers, because we found that there is a need, because some of the learners, they don't have money to go to school. So the department came up to have this competition so that they can come with their inventions, they can come with their awareness, and then after that we award them with the bursaries to go and further. With the bursary that we are giving to them, they can study up until they have their master's or their PhD, but it depends. But they have to work for the department after they have done with their studies.
How many times has South Africa won the Stockholm Junior Water Prize?
South Africa has won Stockholm Junior Water Prize twice, which was 2003 and 2005. In 2003, the project that we have, it was real water gardening, which was done by Claire Reid. If you can look or if you can Google around, you will find her name. She has implemented the project, and she's doing well in the business sector with the project that he entered on Stockholm Junior Water Prize. As I speak right now, she has been invited by the Stockholm Junior Water Prize this year to come and share the experience of the business sector with the new learners that will be entering for this year. As I've said at the background that we are competing with 30 countries and South Africa will be among those. So which means if you look at it, it's a broad opportunity for these young learners, especially for our kids that are coming from rural schools and who have never been exposed to these international trips. And we won in 2005. There were 3 learners that were coming from Free State in one of the schools there. One of them, as I speak, through the bursary that we have in the department, he's working in the department as a civil engineer. It's Mutebele Mshodi. One of them has attained her diploma in Central University Technology in Bloemfontein, a diploma also in the engineering field. The third one is still working on his career, but there's a lot that we can talk about as a youth enterprise and the impact that have done to the youth. I've just mentioning the winning project. There are learners who have just come to the project with their project and they have never won. But those learners, as I can talk now, they are doing well in their communities. If I can mention one of them, Sir Stuart Ntlati is one of them. Tebele Mshodi, as I've mentioned already, is working in the department. Sbusiso Khoza is working in the Department of Communications as I speak. As young as he is, he's the director in there. So there's a lot of impact in the project to the youth that we are bringing in. And in 2005, the winners that they won, they had a project which was called Nocturnal Minimizer. And now they are working on their project, trying to implement it because they were having issues with the funds and so forth, because you know as black people that at times we don't have money to do whatever that you have a dream of.
This is our water saving tip of the week. A hair salon owner shares with us her water saving tip.
We save water by using a jug instead of a running tap.
This is our water saving tip of the week. Don't forget to get in touch with the Department of Water and Sanitation. Our details are on the screen.
This is how we come to the end of yet another exciting episode of the Water Diary right on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. It is brought to you by the Department of Water and Sanitation and SABC Education. Feel free to interact with us on social media. Our handles are on the screen. Let's do this again next week, same time, same place, right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure.
The Water Diary, brought to you by the Department of Water and Sanitation.